International Wine Day. Facebook Live, are you ready to wine? Did you know it was International Wine Day today? Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Eunice LaFate, owner of LaFate Gallery, located at 227 North Market Street in Wilmington, Delaware. But this afternoon, I took the day off, the snow day. I deserve that. Relax, got some rest and all that good stuff. Then I realized I can still come to you from home. So I'm going to be talking first about wine, and my wine paintings, and there are many of them. If you looked at my page this morning, you would have seen approximately 6 pieces that I put on, and they are great. And also, I put a series of products from those paintings. I did post that. There is a website, fineartamerica.com, and when I upload an image, they make a range of products. So there are throw pillows, mugs, yoga mats, fleece blankets. You think of it, it's there. Actually, you can use one painting and you could take an image and you could redecorate, change the entire ambience of your home. Let's say you're interested in wine. That wine painting I posted, and when you get a chance, go back to my page and see the range of products. They have shower curtains. It's all there. Okay, so it is International Wine Day. Cheers! Cheers! Wow. Cheers! Wow, this wine is good. It's Mac. They would say it's Mac. It's been around for a while. It's Mac. Okay. I'm going to show you the very first wine painting I did. And that is now maybe 28 years old. Or 29. Wow. Yes, it's pretty old. So let me show you the first wine piece I did. And I spent months on it because at that time, I wasn't painting to sell anything. I was in corporate America, making decent money, and I didn't have to sell my art. So I painted mainly at the time to relieve stress. This piece was done in 1992. Wow. And you know me for my folk people. A lot of people, when they see paintings like this, they'll say, "You did that?" Of course I did. I am jack of all trades. I am pretty good, very versatile with my folk art skills. Well, then if you start to talk about perspective, I'm not there. Because folk art is not about perspective. It is not about accuracy. Folk art is art from the heart. So whether you want to paint the sky red, it's still okay as far as there are no rules. There are no rules to folk art. But and then back in the days when I started, most of my paintings were folk people and folk culture, landscape, capturing the beauty of my island, Jamaica. And later on, I decided to experiment with, and by the way, I'm self-taught. That's what folk art is all about too. I never went to an art school a day in my life. No one taught me about perspective, etc. I lined up the fruits. Yes, I did. And I did have a cut watermelon. I think I did a great job. So this is my oldest work of art, or one of the oldest, and it is a still life piece, and wine is in the mix. So there you go, 1992. This is what I call an original, because I have no limited edition prints of it. So if you purchase this, you're the only owner of the piece. It is a very beautiful piece. It's about 19 by 24, beautifully double matted. Back in the days, all my works were on paper. I didn't start canvas till, way back from the 90s coming or forward. Yes, I did all my paintings on paper then, and it was very expensive to frame them because they had to be double matted and framed, and these frames were very, very pricey. So when you collect a work of art like this, it is a treasure. That piece. Now here's another wine piece. And if you're just joining me, I am Eunice LaFate, owner of LaFate Gallery, located at 227 North Market Street in Wilmington, Delaware. And this afternoon, I'm coming to you from home, from the confines of my home, taking a snow day off, sipping my wine, and welcome, it is International Wine Day. Cheers! If you're just joining me, cheers! Yeah, get your wine, get your glass of wine, but you better be 21 or over. When we do paint nights at the LaFate Gallery, or paint day, in order to sip wine, you must be 21 or over. So let me put the spotlight back on this work of art here. This is titled, this is not the original. The original is at the gallery. This is titled Wine Collage. And the original pops. The original is on canvas. It has an oriental frame. Oh, it is gorgeous. In a moment, I'm going to show you the type of frames that I used to frame my work then. So here is this piece. And look, for that price, wow. That's the price for that. Double matted, framed, and that's the price. It is a limited edition print of the original painting, which is at LaFate Gallery, located at 227 North Market Street in Wilmington, Delaware. So if you're interested in purchasing the original, just call me to make an appointment to come to the gallery. 302-656-6786. Okay, so let's explore wine paintings. Okay. There's no actual wine in this. This is grapes. And this piece is beautiful. It's titled, it's on canvas. Now, that's the type of frame I'm telling you about. See? Classy, very classy frame. This was done in 2009. The piece is titled Woman at the Vine. There she is, reaping the grapes. Woman at the Vine. And the next piece is not actually wine. It's related to my Jamaican culture. This is coffee. Now, Jamaica grows Blue Mountain coffee. Have you ever heard about Blue Mountain coffee? Or have you ever tasted it? It is the best coffee in the world. Blue Mountain is about 7,000 feet, the height of that part of the land. And it is cold up there. Actually, when it's winter here, snowflakes fall at Blue Mountain. And so this is Blue Mountain coffee, and it's made into a liqueur called Tia Maria. Oh, that Tia Maria liqueur is, well, it is just wonderful. And we always mix it. Sometimes we pour it on the ice cream, or some people pour it in the milk, and they call it brown cow. Imagine, people, they have different names for different. So this is, and there goes the frame. It's a matching frame for that piece. So how about having these two pieces with the identical type frame? I bought these frames years ago online. I don't even think they make them anymore. Look at the mastery craft of the frame. Look at the frame. And this piece is 18 by 24. That piece is 16 by 20. They're on canvas. They're framed. I do have limited edition prints of these at the gallery. I also have limited edition prints of that one. Yes, we are celebrating International Wine Day. And you know, a few weeks ago, actually, when I started the year, I started it with health, living healthy. But wine, a little wine now and then is good, actually, they say. There's nothing wrong with a little wine every now and then. Take a sip, and especially the red wine. So go get a glass and get some wine. Wine up, wine up. So these are the paintings that relate to wine that I'm showing you from my home gallery. And they are available. You just need to call me at area code 302-656-6786. Well, that's not wine, but that's from my heritage. My favorite flowers is called helicona. It is what we call that the bird of paradise. Okay, so wine is in. Wine is the season. It's the day to celebrate wine paintings. Okay, now what else is happening at LaFate Gallery? Before I get to that, let me introduce you, because I don't know if everyone knows that I'm also a writer. I wear many hats, and I'm so blessed and grateful for the skills that the Maker has given me. I have multiple skills. Yes, I'm a writer. I posted this sometime this week, and this is one of the 2 books. I call it a book. It's a catalog, but it's more of a book. It took me years to put it together. There are 25 images in the book and 25 stories about them. Okay, and just let me share the meaning of the catalog with you. Yes, that's my name, naturally. Folk artist, catalog of selected works and writings. But this is what I want you to pay attention to. It is about art that celebrates the individual, bridges differences, and creates unity from diversity. You know me very well that I talk a lot about unity, about peace, about justice, all of that. So let me share with you one of the poems I wrote about one of my pieces of work. I just need to get that page to share. It's on my page this morning. If you are my friend, you would have seen this morning. Actually, I started out using this to be my profile. When I realized it was wine day, I changed and put a wine painting. So this work of art is my most philosophical work of art. It is titled Life's Dimension, which has now become the album of a cover music, a 12-track album that famous drummer Jonathan Whitney created an album using, or with my permission. The title of the album is Life's Dimension, just like the title of my painting. And it's a 12-track album. And in that album, he incorporated or made music, composed. That's what I should be saying. He composed music using 5 of my paintings, and this is one of them, and it's actually on the album cover, and it is the title of his album. And to get that album, see, it's Black History Month, and I believe in the village. It takes a village to raise a child, the old African proverb. It takes a village to grow a business. I am always out here or there promoting other businesses. I wish it could reciprocate, but I keep on doing it because it makes sense. So yes, this and working collaboratively with Jonathan, and he was able to use five of my images rather, to create his album titled Life's Dimension. So, a picture is worth 1,000 words. What is Life's Dimension? That's the name I gave to it. It is my most philosophical works of art, and I've done quite a few hundred pieces in the last 28 years. Life's Dimension. Well, take a note. You notice those two images right there on the peak up there? You notice they're not even stable? You notice here we have darkness, brightness. We have green, which represents the valley. So here's my poem. Actually, let me read the entire narrative because it makes sense. Represented in this image are the perspectives of life. The bright side, the dark side, the valley and peak. This painting portrays my life's philosophy, which simply stated is, life has its bright side and its dark side, its valleys and peaks, but life is what you make it. So always look on the bright side and aim for the peak. And this was done in 1992. And for those who collect art and don't know about copyright, or those who sometimes would love to use somebody's art, there is something out there called copyright. I created this. This is original. This is my work. So I put my name and that small C in that circle and the year. I own it. And by the way, I sold the original painting, but I still own the copyright. That's how art works. So when you purchase an original painting, you get that original, but the copyright belongs to the owner, the person who created it. Well, let me continue with my philosophy about that life's dimension. The green area of this painting represents the valley of life. Also a place where things are not going well and one is down. You ever heard them talk about, I'm in the valley of depression? Yes, well, that's a term, for example, in my culture. When people are depressed, they say, I'm in the valley of depression. However, think of the dark side. The valley, even though it is represented as being down, it is great. It's a great place to be. Well, take the farmers. And my late dad was a small farmer. The farmers choose the valley to plant their crops because that's where the crops thrive. So, unlike the dark side, the valley is fertile and promises opportunities for individual growth if one seeks to harvest them. Emerging from the valley, one reaches the bright side, a place of newly found knowledge. One can now reach the peak of individual potential by exploring the insights. As human, it is natural to prefer to remain on the bright side of life. Yes, all of us, it is human that people just want to be on the bright side. They can't deal with the dark side. But here's a philosophy. Okay? Like the peak, it's a place that promises some amount of prospect. Think of the dark side and what good can come out of darkness? Sure can. You remember back in the days, the older folks watching me, do you remember that Polaroid camera? Oh yeah, that's what we used then. And they would take those pictures with the Polaroid cameras, take it to the Photoshop, and give them to process the picture. Those pictures were processed in what was called, or maybe still called, the dark room. Yeah, in that photograph studio, there was that place called the dark room. And that's where those images, those negatives were processed. And then you go back. You go back to pick up your images. And good afternoon. Let me just welcome everyone. I am Eunice LaFate, owner of LaFate Gallery, located at 227 North Market Street in Wilmington, Delaware. And this afternoon, I'm coming to you from home. And it's International Wine Day. So I did show wine, chairs out there, chairs if you're just joining. And then I went on to share an image from my book, which is on my page this morning, titled Life's Dimension. And there are 4 dimensions to life: the bright side, the dark side, the peaks, and the valley. And each side of life, all of us at some stage must have gone through those 4 stages of life. Have you ever been on the bright side? Sure. Would you prefer just to be there and not to even face any darkness? Well, life's not like that. Life is not going to allow you to get away not being on the dark side. So you are going to have to face the dark side head on. And you are going to have to work your way from the darkness to the light. So I discussed the bright side, and I said that is the place where most of us would want to be, and we want to remain on the bright side. I went on to talking about the dark side, the valleys, which is considered the valley of depression, but yet growth. The valley is fertile soil. The peak is where everyone is aiming to get to the peak. But guess what? You see those 2 images right there in the peak? They're not even stable. Even when you get to the peak, there are challenges that you face. And that's why this work of art is so very valuable. My dear sister, I have quite a few sisters. My baby sister purchased it. I did put in the narrative this morning that the original painting is owned overseas. Yeah. And I remember when she saw the painting and she wanted to purchase it, and she asked, how much is it? And I told her. But I said, I'll give you a discount. She said, I don't want a discount, she said. She said, that poem is what grabbed me, she said. She didn't want a discount. She wanted to purchase this at value. Well, at value then was $2,500. This painting now worth thousands of dollars. And that is why also I keep saying art is wealth. The value appreciates over time. Art appreciates. Therefore, I encourage you to appreciate and collect art. It can never depreciate. It's even greater than real estate. Real estate will depreciate, but art cannot. Can never depreciate. So when you buy a work of art, an original, or a signed, numbered, limited edition print, and we'll talk about that, you are acquiring wealth. So I encourage, it is Black History Month. Now, how many of you out there own a piece of work? It doesn't have to be from me. I'm going to put my face back on. Okay, so I'm Eunice LaFate. How many of you out there, we talk the talk. How many own a work of art by a minority artist? How many of you? I'm just putting the challenge out there. And if you don't own any by now, it's about time. That's the slogan. I love that slogan. That's a Wilmington slogan. It's time, Wilmington, DE. Well, it's time, people, to buy a work of art. And let's do a little horn tooting here. Last month, the News Journal named several people in different categories as most influential Delawareans. Well, yours truly, Eunice LaFate, was one of those people, and I was named most influential in the category of art and entertainment. Now that has added appreciating value to my work, so you better not wait. It's about time to get the work. In the gallery, I currently have an exhibition of well over 25 pieces on display because it's all my work for Black history. At the end of the month, those pieces come down. They're going to be bubble wrapped and put in storage. Why should art be put in storage? Well, because you're not collecting. So I encourage people to collect art. I detest taking the work down and putting it in storage until the next season. No, it shouldn't be at all. I want the work on your wall, or that's in your office or in your home. So collect art. I'm planning to have a closing exhibition. The exhibition opened first Friday, and the last Friday, before I take the art down, I want to give people who didn't come in and see the exhibition or didn't purchase anything, I want you to be able to come in to that exhibition on the last Friday. I think that date is the 25th. Come to LaFate Gallery, located at 227 North Market Street. We're going to go from 5 to 7:30. Come and purchase. I have increased the discount. I was offering 25% discount on the original. I hyped that up to 30%. So you'll get 30% discount on the original paintings, and on the limited edition prints, it's as high as 50% discount. What more can I do to convince people that you can collect art at affordable rates? So I am encouraging you to collect. The next big exhibition at LaFate Gallery is going to be the Women's Month exhibition. And I titled it the Fab Four. There are going to be 4 women in that exhibition. Kendra Dupree, an emerging artist, and that's a part of my mission. I mentor emerging artists. I help them because there are some artists out there, they don't know how to price their work. They're actually giving away their work. That's what I used to do back in the days when I didn't know how to price my work then. But I learned after I'd sold many pieces at very cheap prices. I realized the value and was able to price it at market value. So she's one of the artists I'm mentoring, and she does resin work. She does some beautiful work. And the next artist is Megan Ferrari. And she's the rose girl. She takes those rose petals. She makes 3Ds. Her works of art are incredible. 3Ds. Then the next artist is yours truly. There are going to be 4 of us, and I'm putting them in alphabetic order. So that's Kendra Dupree. She's mixed media. And Megan Ferrari, she's also mixed media. And I am watercolor, I'm acrylic, and oil, my paintings. And the next artist is none other than LaFate Gallery's extraordinary curator, Jo Redbird. She has been the curator ever since the gallery was open. She does an incredible job. She comes in every month to hang the new exhibition. So us 4, the Fab Four artists, come out to see that exhibition. That is going to be first Friday, the 5th of March from 6 to 8 o'clock. And these ladies are going to have limited edition print and small items that you can collect. Join us at LaFate Gallery on March the 5th for the Fab Four Women's Exhibition to celebrate Women's History Month. Empower yourself, women. I have pieces like Women Balancing the World, Women Reaching for the Stars, Empowered Women. I have so many. I have 20 different themes that span 28 years. My work is 28 years, and it is divided into 20 different themes. So if you don't like my folk people, then you can always get my flowers. There's always something for everyone. Look, see? I don't just do folk people. Look at that beautiful piece there, that abstract. Look, there we go. Oh, Blue Mountain. Remember I told you about Blue Mountain, where the coffee, Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee. This painting is titled Blue Mountain Peak. It's a gorgeous, again, original. I have work you have never seen, like these. These go back to the 80s, 1985, 1984. Yeah. And if you have never seen my original diversity, there it goes. It is small. And we believe in diversity at LaFate Gallery. In my family, there's a lot of diversity. And yes, that's one of my sisters and her Caucasian husband. We welcome diversity. This beautiful abstract. Wow. Look, again, the choices are so wide when you are dealing with an artist that has 28 years in inventory. You can make choices. You can choose the pieces that you want. And what else do I have? Yeah, look at this piece. We're coming up to the spring. Actually, my theme coming up is going to be Longing for Spring. Longing for Spring is going to be one of my exhibitions. You know, we have been going through the winter. It's time we think spring. And this is the Jasper Crane Garden, Rose Garden. I was named their honoree back in 2018. This is an original painting, and it's sold. That's a limited edition. Well, you have seen a lot. See, I have a home gallery. In addition to my storefront, it is so much work that last week I took home 3 gigantic bags of work that were taken down. I had to take them to store them here because there's not enough space to store them there. Why? Because people are not collecting. So I am encouraging you to start collecting. Help me move the inventory. Art should not, let me put my face on to see what I'm going to say. Art should not be in storage. No. It bothers me when art has to go in storage. Art should be out in the walls. And thanks to, let me toot a horn for a corporate person here. I would like to thank Rob Buccini. And Rob last year sponsored 20 children to come to LaFate Gallery so they could paint free of cost to their parents. 20. Never, when I made the request, there was no probing because he knows what I'm doing in the community. We go back a long time. We know each other and what we do in this great city. Rob Buccini, one of the CEOs of Buccini Paulin Group, the architects, the great architects in this city. So last week, Rob worked with the general manager at the Hotel DuPont to have me bring in one of my pieces to showcase, put in their showcase in the Hotel DuPont lobby. And naturally, I chose Wilmington, a place to be somebody. So yes, I want to thank Rob Buccini. And since I'm on that corporate role now, I want to again thank a company on the riverfront. I don't know if many of you know about that. That is Phillips and Coins Associates. They're global. They have their office on the riverfront. Last year for Black History Month, Phillips and Coins took down from their walls 18 of their corporate pieces, put them in storage and allowed me to hang 18 pieces of my work. And it didn't end there. They decided they wanted to buy a piece. You know what they did? They polled their employees. They had the pictures. They gave it to all their employees and asked their employees to vote to pick the piece that the corporation should own. How beautiful is that? And let me see if in my book, if I have the one that they chose. The employees. Isn't that very democratic? Ah, there you go. There we go. Let me show you. The employees were given the opportunity to choose a piece for the corporation. Guess what they chose? This. A limited edition of this. And this you have seen, and you have seen the story about it. It is titled I Rise, and was inspired by Maya Angelou's poem, And Still I Rise. So Phillips and Coyne Associates, I call them the Visionary Corporation. I wish there were more corporations out there who were inclusive. Corporations need to take down the prints, the department store prints that they have on their walls, and put art, original art, representing the city in which they're, and it doesn't have to be Eunice LaFate art. We have so many great artists in this great city who are starving. You ever heard the term starving artists? Oh yeah, artists are out there starving, and corporations need to loosen up, be inclusive, take down the prints you have and the corporate prints, and give the local artists an opportunity. And this is only, it's a Wilmington problem. When I go to other cities like New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., when I go there and you look at the wall, I am very skeptical. When I walk into a building, the first thing I do is look at the walls. And whatever is on the wall of that place gives me an idea of the type of corporation. It kind of explains their philosophy. So when I go to other cities, I see local art. In our own city, there is not enough local art. There are too many beat-up prints that are framed, black and white prints on the wall. It's time, Wilmington, Delaware, that we grow some cultural values and start collecting art and be inclusive and give the artists in our city an opportunity. Yeah, I have to speak truth to power. And we're not asking for a handout. Not at all. I am not asking for a handout. I am saying I have work of value and art appreciates. So there were times back in the days, corporations had their own galleries. Art can only appreciate. So that's what we're asking for everybody out there to start collecting. And in my gallery, the price of a frame piece starts at $20. You come there, you can get a whole wall of miniatures at $20 each. Come on. It's time, Wilmington. It is time. And those of you who are watching, I thank you very much. And I'll be back in the gallery tomorrow. But I had to, celebrate Wine Day. Again, cheers. That's my wine painting here. And my glass of wine. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Get your glass of wine for your dinner. Red wine is healthy. Don't drink too much, though. Not too much. Not too much. Thanks again for watching. Have a great afternoon. And be careful out there in the snow. And I want to thank my neighbors. They cleaned up my snow already. That's the beauty of Wilmington. That's why that slogan, Wilmington, a place to be somebody. My neighbors are so very caring. I looked through the door and my snow is already cleaned up. Well, I'm going to give some money out. But they didn't even ask. Or they didn't knock on my door. to say, can we clean yours? They cleaned it. I love Wilmington. And that is why I want that love to reciprocate. Okay? Thank you very much.